U.S. politicians said the premature resumption of cruise ship operations could threaten public safety and increase the spread of the coronavirus. Hey everyone, Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. So let's jump right into this. So Congresswoman Doris Matsui, I hope I said that right, and Senator Richard Blumenthal have sent a letter to the CDC Director Walensky, urging strict enforcement of the recently issued guidance under the Framework for Conditional Sailing Order. And in the letter, this is what it says. I'm just going to go ahead and read it to y'all here. It says, "Dear Director Walensky, we write today with significant concern about the prospect of premature resumption of cruise ship operations that could threaten public safety and increase the spread of the coronavirus. While the United States is making significant progress in distributing COVID-19 vaccines, introduction and spread of COVID-19 by cruise ship crew and passengers could undermine this process and require additional mitigation measures that delay our economic recovery and put public health at severe risk. We urge you to strictly enforce the technical guidance issued under the Framework for Conditional Sailing Order to minimize this threat and take all appropriate steps, including halting cruises as necessary if outbreaks occur on board." All right, so that is the first paragraph in the letter. And basically it just says, hey, if you let cruise ships out, they're at a greater risk. Coronavirus is going to spread everywhere again. But I do think the last sentence in that is the best. Take all appropriate steps, include halting cruises as necessary if outbreaks occur on board. Well, duh. If cruising resumes and if outbreaks of anything break out on cruise ships, obviously they would halt cruise ship operations. But why would you say if an outbreaks occur on board if you're not even going to let sailing happen? You're trying to block sailing. Oh, maybe that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I don't know anybody that's out there that's saying take that authority away from the CDC. Matter of fact, in the Cruise Act, it specifically states the CDC retains the authority for any outbreaks that can occur on cruise ships. But let's go ahead and move on to the second paragraph here. In its March 2014-2020 no sail order, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention acknowledged the increased risk of transmission on cruise ships, noting that outbreaks on cruise ships had resulted in countless hours of work for numerous already burdened public health officials. Given the potential for a large virus-spreading event on a cruise ship, the CDC appropriately issued this no-sail order to suspend cruise ship operations. On April 2nd, 2021, the CDC issued the first phase of technical guidance under the CSO, which was implemented on October the 31st, 2020 by the previous administration. This guidance outlines procedures and protocols that will allow resumption of cruise ship travel when it is safe to do so. Failing to adhere to this guidance could create unsafe conditions that jeopardize public health. Therefore, we believe it is a public health imperative that the CDC rigorously enforce the technical guidance under the CSO and take all necessary measures, including stopping cruise line operations as needed if COVID-19 outbreaks happen aboard ships. In this paragraph, they're going all the way back to March of 2020, when the first outbreaks on board cruise ships did occur. That was over a year ago. And at that time, nobody knew what was really going on. Nobody knew what to really do. And so far, that is their only evidence that cruise ships are dangerous is, well, it happened before a year ago. Since then, the cruise ships have completely changed their health and safety protocols. A lot of them even want everybody vaccinated, crew and passengers. So their argument of something that happened a year ago just doesn't hold water when the current facts show that there are cruise ships sailing all around the world. Hundreds and thousands of passengers have been sailing the last few months. without any major outbreaks, proving that the cruise ship's health and safety protocols are working. But let's go on to the third paragraph. While the United States makes progress toward our shared goal of beating this pandemic, COVID-19 remains a grave public health risk that requires ongoing vigilance. Prematurely lifting restrictions on cruising with thousands of people in close proximity and conditions ripe for the spread of infections threatens a serious setback in this progress. It is absolutely critical that we listen to the scientists and the health and safety experts over the industry and its profit-driven executives. Thank you for your attention to this important public health matter. So, in this letter, I don't see anything based on current scientific facts. I don't see any current scientific information. Nothing is based on what the cruise lines are currently doing. It just says, hey, something happened a year ago, and nobody wants it to happen again. But to stop cruising using the, one time at band camp theory, it just doesn't hold any water. Basically, this looks like nothing more than the opposition's response to the plan submitted by Norwegian Cruise Lines and the Cruise Act submitted by the Florida and Alaskan senators. If one political party says this, the other political party must take the opposite view, no matter what it is. And I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, because they both do it. I mean, they really do. One says the sky is blue, the other one will come out and say, no, it's yellow. Doesn't matter. Cruise ships have been sailing for months without any outbreaks and with the health and safety protocols that are stricter than any other form of travel. And while they condemn cruise lines, I haven't seen any letters that say, it's not okay to attend a sporting event, visit a theme park, or per the CDC, as long as you're fully vaccinated, you can travel internationally, just as long as it's not on a cruise ship. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So do me a favor, comment below, what do you think? Should cruising be allowed to resume in July? Or is it really just the disaster waiting to happen, like some of our politicians think it is? Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, let's give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you out on the high seas eventually.